We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV. SVP, SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV.
Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man, Jerome, with me.
What's up, Darren?
Hey, man, another day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, man. Yes.
You know, we always give this invite, you know, and we do get questions now, but we always give this invite. If you're on Facebook Live, you know, call. If you're on YouTube Live,
Yeah.
you can call. If you're on Roku or Fire Stick or Amazon TV or Apple TV.
Yes,
I said
yeah.
Amazon, Apple TV.
And what we like about that, Darren, is real time.
Real time,
yes.
or the SVP TV network app.
You can be on the TV.
Yeah, you can just get on and call.
Your
and we'll
5
answer
seconds
yeah.
of fame. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll answer whatever question you have.
Yes.
So we got to say our shout outs, Jerome. So we got a shout out to California.
Always,
You know, my
yeah.
son is doing good out there. And shout out to Arkansas, Little Rock. Shout out to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout out to Shelby County, Memphis. Shout out to Mississippi. And Mom, shout out to the great state of Missouri.
Did they get in the snow, Darren?
They didn't have any snow. They had some, but
It's melted away now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cleaned up. Jerome, it was last show or maybe the show before that, we had a conversation with, you know, answering some questions that people had.
Yes.
And we told, you know, one lady was asking, or somebody, I said lady, was asking, what do you do when you have somebody that's have theft of services, you know, or, you know, promise to do something, take your money and running off and things like that. What do you do? You know, again, there's the statute. I'm going to cite the statute to you. The statute is TCA 39-14-104. And let me just read a little bit of the statute, because the statute says a person commits theft of services who intentionally obtains services or property by deception, fraud, coercion, false pretenses, or any other means to avoid payment. For services.
Mm-hmm.
And really that statute was originally utilized, and it had been utilized for a long time for the hot check.
Yes.
You know, that was kind of how they were using it for the hot check statute. But what you got to do is, you know, I always take that language that I just said and put it in a letter, and then I send it to the person that I have violated. And I also say in that letter, when I send it to the letter, I say in that letter, you got a certain amount of time to fix this, or I'm going to turn it over to the Shelby County Attorney General's office.
That's right.
You know,
District Attorney's
office.
Right.
And I say that to him, and I put it in the letter. And the statute, you read the statute through, it says you got to send it certified. So if you do that, send it certified, you take that certified letter with your certified card and the letter, what they owe you, and go down to the 201 Poplar or wherever, Shelby County, wherever you're going to go and file your claim.
Right.
You file a warrant, and the DA will prosecute that.
You're right. Right.
You know, I mean, they do that for shoplifting. And the great thing about using that statute is it costs you about $12. It costs you whatever it takes to mail it certified is what it costs you.
Right. And return receipt is how you get the green card.
How you
now.
get, because you got to get the green card.
You got to have the green card.
Even though they ain't delivering them. I don't know why they charge you for something they ain't delivering.
Right.
But anyway, but you get it. You got to get a return receipt so that you can actually, establish it.
Well,
yourself.
they'll verify that you in fact sent it.
Yeah.
And that they in fact received
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. And you take all that with you and
Right.
you go down to the
Right.
DA's office and they'll start that process for you.
Okay, so Daryl, I'm always on the other side. So what happens to the person who is on the other end, the person who has been accused of theft of services? So does that person have to accept service? If you see the green card, I mean, if the postman comes, do you have to sign off on it?
You see,
Would you avoid that? What happens when you try to avoid service?
so that's a misnomer.
Right,
What I always tell people is to send it certified.
right.
And I also tell them to send it regular mail.
That's exactly that's what I was getting at.
Yeah,
Because
but-
they may not sign off on the card, but you can say, Your Honor, whomever, Mr. DA, I sent it certified, return receipt requested. It did not come back, but I don't have the green card. But I also sent it regular mail because I saw something today there too that said that you don't necessarily have to prove that they received it.
Mailbox rule.
You have to just prove that you sent,
You sent
it.
Right.
That was a major case too, man.
Yeah, and sending it, proving that you sent it is just your word.
That's right.
I mean, I mailed it to this address. Here's what I mailed. Here's a
Well,
copy.
well, it's a little bit more than that. As lawyers, we have to do a certificate of service. We have to swear,
Yeah,
or
but that's
affirm
us.
that we don't. But
Yeah.
you don't think a private citizen has to also
Well,
maybe swear or affirm
they
that
could do
did
that.
something?
They can do that, but I have a couple cases where people have used the mailbox room.
Right.
And they're explaining that they've done that, and they're explaining it in a deposition.
Okay,
Deposition is sworn testimony.
I got you. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all I really need.
Okay.
I mean, but I don't know that it really requires anything like that. But I mean, it's going to get to that at some point.
At some
because
point.
they're going to say, "I never got served.
That's right.
You don't have jurisdiction." Then the first question is, "Well, why are you here?"
That's right.
But if you send, people are savvy today. So if you send something by certified mail, a lot of times people won't pick it up.
That's exactly right.
But I think the fact that it was attempted to be delivered by certified mail and the card comes back as undeliverable and you can establish that that's the right address.
Well, that's exactly because you are required to update your address to the post office.
Right.
So if your last known address is where I sent the letter, it's presumed that you got it.
Right.
You got to prove
Yeah,
that you didn't get it then. Yeah.
And you and look, I served a corporation like that.
Yeah.
I sent it to them by certified mail. They never showed up. They kept saying they didn't get it. And then came in and they finally showed up because I got a default judgment. So now they got to pay something now. You know what I'm saying? So they finally showed up about they didn't get something, they didn't know something, and then the judge asked them, "Is your address so and so, so and so?" He said, "Yeah, that's my business address." And do you receive mail there normally? He said, "Yeah, I do, Your Honor." Then he said, "Then you were served."
Well, who's the registered agent?
Look,
You no longer have to do registered agent?
they have 11 ways that you can serve an out-of-state corporation.
Oh, out of state. Okay.
Yeah, this is an out-of-state corporation.
I got you.
And actually, you got 11 ways you can serve a corporation too.
Okay.
Not only out of state, but a corporation in Tennessee, whether it's out of state or corporation.
Got you.
And one of those ways is by, the registered agent.
Okay.
But not necessarily.
Oh.
You can send it to a manager or corporate representative, to the business location, to a manager or corporate official. You can send it certified mail to anybody that there's, like I said, you can send it certified mail. You can send it to the Secretary of State,
Okay.
because the Secretary of State, only thing they're going to do is send it by certified mail. So you can send it to the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of State can serve them.
The 11 ways to get rid of your lover, huh?
11 ways. 11 ways,
I
man.
hear you, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, so that's not going to never be that person's problem.
Okay.
It's just making sure you do it.
And the thing about it too is, as you said, when you appear in court, you're going to be questioned about why you didn't get it, because it was sent to the address.
Right.
And like you just said, this is where you normally get your mail. So I don't understand how all of a sudden this particular piece of mail you didn't receive.
Right.
No, you've been served.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you normally ask. What's
Right.
your address?
Right.
And when they say my address is so and so, so and so, then you ain't get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, like I got one where the person got the checks because they cashed them, and it was mailed to that address. They cashed it, but they didn't get any other letters that my client sent, which makes no sense.
No, it doesn't add up. Something that's not adding up here, sir.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
got you
you
there.
know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, you can fight that fight if you want to, but a lot of times we just don't. I don't.
Well, I don't know. It's worth a fight to do if, in fact, you didn't receive it. But I would not want you to swear, because the judge is probably going to say, raise your right hand, more than likely, and swear you in at that
Okay,
point.
but here's the thing: if you didn't get it, and you're at court now, what are you asking the court to do? If you're asking the court to consider me served, or if you're asking the court to lift the default judgment
yes,
against me?
yes, that's what you're doing. You're asking the
Yeah,
judge.
if you're asking the court to lift the default, the
Right.
court will lift the default.
Right.
And the court will say, sir, you are now served.
Right.
You know,
Right.
will you accept service?
Right.
You know, because now you got to play the stupid game.
Right.
You know, okay, well, sir, you know, if you want me to lift the default, or you going to accept service? Well, Your Honor, you know, you got to, then we're not lifting the default.
Right.
It's quid pro quo. You got to get something to give something.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's why the audience, that's why you need a lawyer to help you navigate through
Yeah.
these situations, because, I mean, it's just impossible, because we spent, a whole semester on civil procedure, and that's what it's there.
Well, in my school, we did 2 semesters.
2 semesters of civil
Yeah,
procedure.
your whole first year,
Right.
we teach you taught civil procedures
Right.
first year, but the procedures that I learned when I was in law school was federal civil procedures.
Okay.
It wasn't state.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, did pretty good in civil procedures, but my thought is, I never envisioned how important it is, man.
Oh, really? At
Oh
that
my
time?
goodness,
Yeah.
man! I never, dude. That's my bread and butter.
That's exactly right now.
Oh my goodness, man! Civil procedures, man. I mean, good gracious, you know. And you know, every now and then I'll catch myself off on a rule.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, there's a different interpretation on a rule that, you know, I think the rule says X and somebody else will think the rule says Y. You know, and sometimes I'll concede because I don't want to be, I don't fight unnecessary fights. You know me.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
Right. I mean,
You know,
what is it going to cost me to
Yeah.
concede? Right.
Okay, what do you want?
Right.
You know.
I got you.
Okay, you know, so I mean, if the point is I'm supposed to do this, okay, you gonna give me more time to do it, or you gonna try to default me?
Right.
If you're gonna try to default me, by the time you get that default filed, I will
I
have
would have done what
I will
it
have
is.
an answer.
Right.
So why not give me that time?
Right.
Unless because then if you go to court, 90% of the judges in Shelby County, if you go to court and you try to file a default against a lawyer or a person, and they have answered in some capacity, some kind of response, whether it be a motion, whether it be a little piece of paper say, I disagree.
Right.
You know,
I agree.
and the courts will say something like, well, you know, it's not a standard, you know, response, but I'm going to accept that as a response.
Right. Well, it looks like Mr. O'Neill has tried to get an answer, so
Yeah.
no, I'm going to deny
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
motion. Yeah.
So yeah, if you've answered, you know, and you show up at the court, you say, Your Honor, you know, I was just retained, you know, and you know, because there's case law that says the courts don't want to grant default.
Absolutely
They
not.
want cases to be tried on their merits.
That's right.
That's what they want. So I mean, you know, 90% of the time, if somebody gets a default, it will be you can't get it set aside. You know. Now it also depends on how long it takes you to try to do that. but-
Yeah, and well, you got to come up with some reasonable explanation, not that I just sat on my rights and didn't try to do anything. It was on the table. I saw it on the table, but I decided I was pissed off. I was angry on her, and that made it do you.
Yeah. And you know, and you show at the court even on the day of default, and to tell the judge, Your Honor, I did get it. I called the lawyer. He wouldn't really answer none of my questions.
Right.
And the judge gonna say, well, he don't represent you.
Right,
That's
right.
not his job to
That's
answer the
right.
question. And
That's
then
right.
you'll say, well, Your Honor, I really want to hire a lawyer. And the judge will normally say, hey, look, I'm going to give you 30 days
That's
to hire a lawyer.
absolutely
Let
correct.
when you hire that lawyer, you need to let that lawyer know he needs to get an answer and make contact with so-and-so, so-and-so. And then he'll say, Mr. So-and-so, so-and-so, if that doesn't happen,
Right.
why don't you reset your motion, we'll deal with it.
Right. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I expect would have happened to there.
Yeah, I mean, judges are not, they're human.
Well, they don't want to be reversed either.
Well, I think you have discretion on defaults.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I read the law, I think a judge has discretion on granting.
Well, what I
reversal,
mean
a default judgment.
is that if you show up and say some of the things we just got through saying, and then the judge just adamantly said, "No, I'm not going to reverse it," I think that may be reversible error on the judge's fault when it goes up. To say that I was there, I told the judge that I needed time to hire a lawyer, and he wouldn't offer me a chance to do it. He just seemed like he was mad at the world or something.
Yeah, but you
know?
didn't file a motion to disqualify or motion to recuse.
Well, I don't know. You're still pro se at this time.
Oh, well, if you pro se,
Yeah, you're still pro se at
yeah,
that time.
well, that ain't gonna be good because you're gonna screw it up at the Court of Appeals. So, pro se and the Court of Appeals don't normally go together.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness, no. I mean, because procedurally you're gonna not know, and they got all these rules about how your brief's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be cited. I mean, just a lot of stuff.
So you absolutely gonna fail up there.
Man, and I'll tell you, the Court of Appeals will dismiss you in a minute, talking
Yeah.
about, you fail to comply with the rules.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Or,
I've seen
you didn't get a final order.
Yeah.
I mean, so they don't have no problem
Yeah,
dismissing.
I've seen it because I read the Tennessee little thing comes out for all the stuff that goes
Yeah.
up.
Unfortunately, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read them every night, man. I'm the nerd guy.
Right.
Know.
Hey,
But you
that's
know,
your
you learn
livelihood, man.
Well,
You
yeah,
learn
I mean,
a
you
lot like
learn a
that,
lot.
yeah.
You learn a lot by that.
Yeah.
Jerome, we got a little bit of time left,
Yeah. Okay.
and we can play some more with this later on, man.
Okay.
But times are getting hard again, man.
Well, Daryl, I am excited to announce tonight that that the Court of Bankruptcy is wide open to assist people who are now having some financial difficulties there. There it used to be a time when if a person came in with a student loan issue, we would just turn them around at the door if they didn't come in on oxygen. If they didn't come in dragging an oxygen tank or on their deathbed almost, because that's how difficult it was to deal with student loans in a bankruptcy. But now they are more open to the fact that it's crushing. The debt is so crushing. In fact, the president has tried to eliminate at least $20,000. That's not a whole lot because I've seen some humongous student debt there. You graduated with no student debt, didn't you?
Now, in law school, I got a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man.
I had scholarships for most of the way.
Man, look at you.
But
Great.
yeah, but in law school, no, a scholarship ain't enough in law school.
I'm
unfortunately.
hip.
Yeah.
But people have hundreds of thousands.
I ain't had nothing
of
like that
dollars
now, yeah.
Of student loan debt. Well, we're talking about medical doctors. We're talking about respiratory
And
therapists.
lawyers,
We're
man.
talking about lawyers.
Yeah,
We're talking
yeah.
about people who have crushing student loan debt. There is now a way to deal with it. In fact, almost every seminar that I've attended recently has a student loan component to it. So we can become familiar with it.
Well,
how to deal with a student
and I
loan.
don't know about any other schools, but I know in law school, I remember this, man, vehemently, man. And the statement used to be, if you live like a lawyer when you're in law school, you will live like a student when you graduate.
Okay.
You ever heard that before?
Yeah, yes.
And because what ended up what happened in law school is they had everybody wanted to give you money.
Yes.
You could get $100,000 on bar cash,
Probably why a lot of people pick up some debt too, because the first year you're not supposed to
you're not supposed to
work at all because they want you to dedicate, because they said the law is a jealous mistress. They want you to be pinned down trying to get your way through that first year. So, you know, people who had obligations, you know, you had to borrow money to do it.
Yeah, you know, I was in the military
Oh, yeah. Okay.
while I was going through law school, and you know, thank God for the military. I mean, because you know, I had some scholarship money, but the military also, you know, will give you money.
As a matter of fact, I also had the stipend
Yeah.
that I was getting when the military
Yeah,
too. That
yeah.
helped out.
Not to include the time.
But you had rank though. You were
I was
a lieutenant at that time.
I was the first lieutenant. At
Okay.
that time. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they gave me a couple of dollars.
That's good.
But the
man.
way that they do student loans for military,
Yeah.
I mean, where they give not student loans, benefits for education benefits.
Okay.
They give it to the lowest rank first.
Oh.
So enlisted have the first option, and if there's any money left over, then officers.
Then the officers get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so, and what I did when I first started law school, I deferred my commission.
Oh, so you,
So
I hear you. So you could get the money.
yeah, I deferred my commission
Until your
the first-
second year.
to my second year.
I got you.
So you know, I got my scholarship money, got my stipend from the military, and then, you know, you can only defer for a year, and so I deferred until the end of that semester, and by that time, the end of that semester, I went to law school in in August of 2000. August of 1996.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, August of 1996, and then I got commissioned in February of 1997.
Okay. Okay.
So that had the second semester had
Okay.
already started.
But
Yeah.
you know, Darryl, I'm kind of glad we're talking about this because it's been a while since we've encouraged our audience to start trying to pick some kind of profession.
Right.
And Darryl, I know this is not what we had planned on talking about, but there is something very wrong in our community now with all of this crime that we're having, young people committing crimes as young as 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
And one of the problems I believe there is that our people don't know how to do nothing. Every time most of the time you see a lot of Mexicans doing a lot of home repair, auto mechanics, roofing.
Yeah.
Every time. So
Yeah.
we gotta teach our children some kind of trade. College ain't for everybody.
College is not for everybody, and college is rough, man.
I'm telling you, you telling your kid, look, I want you to go to college. Mom and Dad, I'm tired. I don't want to go to school anymore. But you can learn a trade. And a lot of these
Well,
trades.
that's not our fault. People were getting those trades in high school.
But because they wasn't doing well with their other subjects, so how can you be sitting in the trade place?
Yeah, but
they're talking about right now retaining a bunch of third graders because they're not reading at grade level.
But I don't think most people read at grade level. Drew, I am certain. Do you know the average reading for the average American reading competency is?
Well, I know newspapers are printed at certain newspapers are printed at different age levels, like 8th grade, maybe 10th grade, and like is that what it is?
The average reading ability is 7th grade.
Oh my God,
7th
Darryl.
grade. And that's what they a lot of the papers or a lot of informations are printed at that.
Darryl, no.
Yeah.
Like the Commercial Appeal, the Tri-State Defender, the Wall Street Journal.
Now I can't
Washington
believe they say that.
No, I'm not saying that they're 7th grade. I'm not
Okay,
saying
yeah,
that.
because
I'm not saying that.
I've read a lot of those papers, man.
I'm not saying that.
And I
I'm
don't know
just-
what 7th grader could comprehend some of that stuff in it.
No, I'm just saying that each of the different publications has a particular audience that it's designed to be at that level to read. So maybe the 7th grade, that must be what there. That must be what is it, Dr. Seuss and green beans.
No, no, no. Man, Dr. Seuss, man, my daughter's reading Green Eggs and Ham.
Green
man.
Eggs and Ham.
And she was 4 years old.
4 years
yeah,
old.
reading that, man, 3 and
but,
4.
But what my point is that there has nothing in my life has been more valuable than my education.
Yeah.
What would you think, man?
I don't disagree with that. And the point of it is, you and I, we have done careers.
Yes.
The military, my time in the military, most people use the military as a career.
Yes.
My time in EMS was a career.
Yeah. Yeah. And my nursing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Career. Yes.
You was in the military.
Yes.
And you could have done 20 years and that would have
Yes.
been a career.
Yes.
Your nursing was a career.
Yes.
And now you're a lawyer. You're in the third career.
My third career, man.
Hey, y'all, look, anyway, again, I'm disappointed y'all didn't take advantage of that phone number. But anyway, that's okay. We'll bring some new information to you next week.
Yeah.
And we're going to finish talking about some of these bankruptcy changes. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you back next week.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6800. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
You're talking about a good time shield. When we all alone. Come on now.
Center Stage Gospel Music live from Memphis, Tennessee, featuring gospel artists from around the world. Toe-tapping, hand-clapping, down-home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage